Alright, what's good, y'all? So today we're about to watch Cam Newton get disrespected by this kid at his training camp. Let's check it out.
You asked. You're a free agent. You're a free agent. You're a free agent.
Dude responds with, "You're a free agent." For those that don't know, there's a YouTuber that goes by Flight Reacts. I know this kid watches him. Flight Reacts says the same thing. He's trying to get a reaction on the Cam Newton, but to his credit, he actually does. So I'll give him that.
You about to be pulled. I'm rich. You about to be pulled. I'm rich. You about to be pulled. I'm rich. You're a free agent. I'm rich. You're a free agent. I'm rich. He's a free agent. Where your daddy is? Let me talk to your dad.
Ooh, y'all hear Cam Newton fire back? He said, "Let me talk to your dad." And the reason Cam Newton said that because he knows the kid doesn't have a dad. The kid don't have no strong male figure in his life. That's why he coming at Cam Newton in an emotional way like that. If he was smart, he could have came up to Cam Newton respectfully, asked him some tips maybe. Because he's at a training camp. I'm assuming he's good enough to get invited. Could have asked him for something in a more respectful way, but look, he got to come at him emotionally just to try to get a reaction out of him, so it'll make him feel good. Because the kid doesn't really have confidence deep down, and we'll see that later in this video.
Hey, let me talk to your dad. Where's your dad? You're a free agent. Where's your dad? You're a free agent. Your dad. You're a free.
And clearly, as you can see, the kid can't even answer the question. Kid doesn't have a dad. Seeing people talk about where are his parents. It should be changed to where is his parents. He clearly doesn't have a dad in his life.
Agent, you asked. Talk to. Let me. Where's your dad? Where's your pop? You asked. Where
And the kid clearly has to keep saying the same thing over and over again. He doesn't have anything else to come back with.
Nah, ain't no disrespect. You know, if you wanted some attention, I'm gonna give you some attention. The right way, bro. The right way. When do y'all play?
We play tomorrow.
What was y'all record today then?
1-2. No, 2-1.
1-2. I'll give him 2-1 just to be generous. Let's see what happens.
What did you do? No, I wasn't able to see because y'all was too.
Cameras on me.
All right, bro.
Okay. You'll see, and cameras on me equates to he did nothing. He did nothing on the field. I mean, if he did something, he can list this, and this, and this. But clearly, he didn't do anything. He was out there. He was just out there.
What he do, man? Does he play?
He got speed.
He got speed.
No, he's letting his speed.
You hear that? This dude said he got speed. That's it. He don't got nothing else. All he can do is run fast. You better switch the track, my boy, because your football career is over.
Oh.
You're gonna see.
Huh?
You're gonna see.
Nah, don't act shy, nah, bro. Don't act shy.
Right here.
I'm asking. I couldn't see.
You're going to see again. It equates to I don't really have a game like that in football. I don't really do much.
You gonna watch YouTube? Oh, you watch YouTube? I know you do. You cafeteria crops, man.
Cam Newton ain't gonna pull up YouTube videos of you. You really think Cam Newton's going to take time out of his day to watch YouTube videos of you while he's in the NFL? And really, it's the other way around. You should be watching his highlights, if we're being honest.
No, stop. No, I'm really trying to ask you. Like, I'm trying to see, like, what you.
We do that shit for real though.
I'm like,
We rep that 215.
205?
215.
215. Okay, cool. Bro. I'm just like, please don't be one-dimensional. Like you said something to me, then I go. I'm really trying to talk to you. I'm not trying to like crack no jokes. I'm just really trying to ask a simple question, bro. It's your fault why everybody's looking, but I'm really just trying to ask a question. But you never said what you did. You said
exactly, Cam Newton, because he didn't do anything. He did not do anything on the field. He was just out there.
See.
At the end of the day, right?
Nah, coach, it's no disrespect. I promise you, it's no disrespect.
See, and Cam Newton really saving you. That coach is gonna pull a whole lecture on you. I can see it in his face. Cam Newton really saving you right now, my boy.
I get that, but I'm a grown man, right? This is the coach. I'm not the fool.
Coach, we squashed it. We good. I was literally, I was.
I know.
We good.
I love that. I love that.
Look at that. Cam Newton to the rescue. This coach right here is trying to tell him that's not a respectful way to approach Cam Newton. And the dude that's about to lecture him is right. That's not the right way.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to break the monotony. Yeah. I'm just trying to talk to him. He think I'm trying to put him to
Nah, bro, I'm focusing on this. I'll get my pick.
Thank you, sir.
Right? Congratulations.
But y'all don't play no more today, though.
Are you good? I see y'all moving.
Hey, y'all hear the dude in the background? He said he want an autograph. Because he's a fan. He's a fanboy. The people that hate your game the most watch you the most. It amazes me. He did all that for attention. And look where it got him.
Y'all play us next?
No, our younger team do. Play the, not a younger team, but a younger.
Anyway, that's about it for this part of the video. I'll be back. Alright, so Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman are going to give their thoughts on how Cam Newton handled the situation between him and Trash Talking Camper. Let's check it out.
What's your reaction to Cam's handling of that situation?
Well, I don't think that I appreciate the explanation that Cam came back and tried to provide to him. I don't think that he should have engaged in a back and forth with the kid.
You didn't have to, but I think Cam Newton just wanted to troll him back a little bit, honestly. I think he just did it for fun. Because he was smiling during the whole thing. Because he knows the kid's beneath him. He's in the NFL, the kid is simple as that.
At the start, because here's the reality of the situation. He's a kid, so I won't mention his name, although it's all over the web and social media and all of that stuff. But that kid should be ashamed of himself. If I was his parent, he would have been grounded. He would have been punished. I might have slapped him upside his head. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You can't do that, Stephen A. Smith. That's abuse. That's child abuse.
That was a disgraceful display of behavior by that young kid. And let me put it in perspective for that young kid who was a linebacker and a wide receiver at his college at this particular moment in time. I don't know whether he was 16 or 17 years of age. Cam Newton is an individual that has been in the National Football League for 10 years. He has played in 139 games.
I'm sure the kid plays Madden. He knows all this stuff, Stephen A. Smith.
140. Outside of last season, where he was injured pretty much for all but 2 games, Cam Newton has missed a grand total of 6 games in 10 years. Okay, with the exception of last season where he missed those 14 games. In one of the most violent sports, if not the most violent sport there is, playing the quarterback position, this man has been durable for the most part. He's a former league MVP. He guided the team to the Super Bowl. He's earned over $100 million in his professional career. And despite what he accomplished and what he has achieved in his life, this man, Cam Newton, decides to be one of the sponsors for several teams for a camp you showed up to help you and the kids that were there with you. And you would disrespect him like that?
Of course, he was trolling him. He wanted attention. I almost guarantee you, he was talking. This may not even come out. I guarantee you, he was talking with his boys before. He said, "Hey yo, I'm finna troll Cam Newton. Watch this. And that's what led to the video. He probably thought it was gonna be funny. And to an extent, it was funny. So I can give him that. Hey, but was it worth possibly losing out on scholarships? I don't know.
I mean, is it really that important?
That's assuming he's good enough to get them.
This is what I'm talking about. Now, so we understand that kids are kids, and we understand that kids are entitled to make mistakes. That's why I'm not mentioning his name. And we get all of that. But the level of disrespect that young kids show to their elders is one of the problems that we have existing in today's world.
I mean, I guess. You gotta think about it this way, though. The parents are the ones raising up the kids. So if you're gonna say that, wouldn't that fall on the parents? Because it's their responsibility to raise the kid up in the right way.
Late great John Chaney, the coach at Temple University basketball, Max, used to tell me all the time. He despised what he called the microwave society. Everything
Also known as instant gratification for those that don't know.
is about now. And everybody wants now so badly that they don't want to toil through the terrain and put in the work and grind and do all of those kind of things. And
Well, you gotta realize this, Stephen A. Smith. That's how technology is these days. Everything's about now. Most people scroll on Instagram, Twitter, any other social media site. They're scrolling what about now they can get. You can go on Google and search up anything in an instant and it'll give you an answer. That's just where society's heading, Stephen A. Smith.
they'll do anything to get to that point, to expedite the process and bypass and go through whatever loops they need to go through to bypass the process. And this is one of the things that the guy did, because you're on camera and you're seen arguing with Cam Newton and everybody knows who you are. But you were disrespectful and it was uncalled for, and believe it or not, very ungrateful, because Cam Newton did not have to be there. He did not have to be sponsoring these events, but he did it for you. He did it for kids like you. And obviously his coaches and other adults, along with his parents, got to him, and props to him for apologizing. But I do think it takes a little bit of looking in the mirror to ask yourself, what would get you to do that to begin with? Because those same parents were there, those same coaches were there. They taught you better than that. You knew better than that before you did it. You didn't care until somebody made you care. And that's a big problem that exists in our society today. And I think it's incredibly unfortunate that that kid was caught on camera acting that way. It's very unfortunate, but I'm glad he apologized.
Not only that, but it also takes maturity. Some people may not mature until their 60s, honestly. I mean, they can physically mature, but mentally they may not mature until their 60s. Who knows? Maybe this event may accelerate his maturing.
Yeah, I feel sorry for kids nowadays. I feel sorry for kids growing up. You know, their brains are still developing. That's what the reason teenagers don't have good judgment is, because literally that part of their brain is not developed. I mean, most adults don't have perfect judgment. No one has perfect judgment.
Not just perfect, but most adults don't have good judgment at all. If you want to take a look at that, if you want to take a look at people's judgments, go on Instagram and look at Twitter. That's all I gotta say.
True.
But especially kids, and especially in a competitive situation at that age, man, I'm glad there weren't camera phones around when I was that age. And I think most people, if you're honest, would admit the same. So I had the same reaction as you, Stephen A. It's so offensive, the kid's attitude, right? You're like, what's the matter with you? But then I caught myself. Stephen A., shame is not useful here. I don't think the kid should be shamed. I'm sure he already feels some kind of shame, and I don't think it's helpful. I want to read his apology before I get to he said, first and foremost, I want to express my deepest apologies to Cam Newton and my entire organization and coaches for my actions. I did not intend for it to get as far as I did. I'd like to start by saying my parents never taught me to treat people disrespectfully.
Oh, wait. He said parents. Maybe he does have a father in his life. That's interesting. You think a strong father in his household, though, wouldn't be tolerating this mess. That's something to point out.
He knows he messed up, and he was caught messing up. And by the way, Cam Newton had the same reaction any human being would when they hear that. At first, you get defensive for a second. So he starts talking about, I'm rich. And then it occurred to him, and I don't want to blame Cam Newton for that either, because no one's perfect. And it occurred to him, oh, wait a minute, I'm talking to a kid. Okay. And then he says, he asked to speak to his parent. He doesn't even want to address him about it. He's like, I need to.
No, Cam Newton asked to speak to his dad because he assumed the camper didn't have a dad, honestly. That's just the energy Cam Newton gave off, to me at least.
Speak to your parent. That's the right thing to do. And then he pursued him afterwards saying, wait a minute, well, people are looking at us because of what you did, but he's trying to figure out where the kid's coming from. I think it's an unfortunate situation. It could be a teaching moment, a learning moment. I think that these kind of interactions happen to everybody throughout the course of their lives, and that I really don't.
Everybody? I mean, not many people get a chance to talk to a celebrity. And only not many people get the chance to disrespect the celebrity. So I know about everybody, but I get your point.
Envy teenagers and kids today coming up in this environment where so many of their
I mean, you really shouldn't be envying anybody, Max Kellerman.
mistakes are recorded for posterity. And I would even say, Stephen A., that after that first moment that wasn't so great from Cam, where he just got defensive, human nature, he quickly recovered and realized, wait a minute, this is a kid, I'm a mentor, and he assumed that role. I don't see any reason for shame here.
Well, I disagree with you respectfully, only in this regard. I'm not saying we should shame the kid. I said he should be ashamed of himself.
I agree, Stephen A. Smith. He's got a lot of work to do with himself.
Should look in the mirror, in the privacy of his own thoughts, in his own head, in his own mind, even in his own home. You know better. And the point is that just like he.
Yeah, but that's his fault. He knows better, but he chose not to do better. That's on him. He needs to take full responsibility of his actions, which, to his credit, he somewhat did. Honestly, though, I don't think he wrote what he said. It probably was his mom or something. We know people, or we know kids don't put out stuff like that in a systematic way, the way he wrote it.
Talk about his parents, the organization that he represents, etc. Basically what you're highlighting is that they taught you this. They taught you humility. They taught you sportsmanship. And they certainly taught you gratitude and appreciation for those who reach back to try to provide a helping hand. And for you to go at somebody that was literally there to help you. If Cam Newton never plays another football game, if he never does anything else in life in football, it doesn't take away from the reality that there are millions upon millions of kids aspiring to play the sport of football that can learn an awful lot from him.
Yep. I agree with you, Stephen A. Smith. I agree with about 99.9% of everything you just said. Anyways, that's their take on it. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.